Welcome to another 3D comparison video. This will be an update regarding Vizcom. So they recently released a new model entitled Max. So this will be the state of the art regarding the quality. And let me just show you over here an example. We have the following image. So on a 911 GTR 3 in this case. And using the older model, which was Sharp version 2 in this case, this was the output. And as we can see, the model was quite rough. Over here there are many lines. Even the one entitled Smooth would not output smoother lines in this case. But let's just check over here the new model. And as we can see, the total amount of details will be a lot improved. And we see over here how smooth those lines will be over here. We can also choose over here the high detail mesh, and this will be kept for non-quads, like the one over here, made from triangles to 1.2 million faces. We can also define this as a quads, so all the way up to 800,000 faces. So this is the main advantage of Vizcom, while other tools such as Rodin are kept for 2 million for non-quads and for 50,000 for faces. This will be for quad topology a real improvement. So in my opinion, I really think that generative AI can now output some really good models. And we see over here how fast. So this will take roughly, as you can see over here, one up to 2 minutes to generate a model of this complexity. And that is just mind-blowing. We can also take this into CAD because now we have the possibility to do that. I have over here the same mesh exported, as you can see it over here. We have the wheels of the car steered. We're going to have those details over here. As you can see, for the back wheels, it will have the following elements. So those are also present over here within that initial image. So again, the attention to detail within this model is really incredible. And as you can see, all of those fine details will be added. Now, regarding the back of the car, it's not actually, let's say, as it should be in this case, but considering that this generative AI didn't have those information, I think that the model is looking really good. If I'm just going to drag this over here on the top, we're going to see that even over here on the front, where we have this element, that was also generated. And yeah, again, the attention to detail is really amazing within this model. Now, let's jump over here within CATIA and we have the following model. I had this converted using automatic surface and this is the output. So we can go ahead and we can further work this directly within surface. As you can see, when I'm rotating around, CATIA will be a little bit laggy. With this hidden, CATIA moves really smooth. Only with the mesh enabled, again, it's a little bit laggy, but not as much. But considering that in this case the automatic surface was defined by 50,000 faces, this is the output. In my opinion, it's pretty good. Some of the elements do require additional work, as over here we see those wrinkles onto that section of the surface and onto other elements as well. But keep in mind that this is an automatic surface. We can also go ahead and we can manually use that mesh in order to recreate those elements. So this workflow will be a lot better than the traditional one, which would require, let's say, freestyle. You're going to add some images, you're going to start tracing some profiles, and you're going to fill those with various surfaces. So you can directly work onto a model like this. As you can see, the symmetry is really well embedded within the model in this case, and you can further work with that afterwards. We can also see over here the closed surface, and in this case I also went and I did a cutout. As you can see, I made a pocket over here with the profile of a rectangle, and this is just to showcase that this will be now compatible with part design. So I have the following profile over here. If I'm going to leave that pocket, we're going to have that through all, so we're actually going to have that cutout. You see that CATIA slightly aligns the resolution when it's entering and leaving this, considering that this model is quite complex. But again, depending on your workflow, I do consider that generative AI and tools like Vizcom now have the possibility to completely change how we approach this kind of car design. Also, let's keep in mind over here that we can also further go for quad topology, and I will make an additional video how we can have that exported as an editable component. Now within CATIA it will struggle, CATIA V5, but we're going to see that in other solutions we can have that mesh as editable and we can easily work with that. And initially I'm going to start with Blender for that, because Blender is open source and it can work really good with quad elements. But I'm going to then transition to other CAD solution as well. So let's take a look over here. We have the model over here on the left. This has been modeled, as you can see. We're also going to have some elements for the interior. If I will enable the texture, it will look like this. So this is modeled, and the one over here on the right, this will be the one using generative AI. So over here within solid, we're going to see that this model has some colors for that. But if I will enable a texture, this will be the output. So overall, the texture quality on things that we're going to model will be far superior. So this is one of the milestones that generative AI currently has. Regarding the geometry, we see that things have evolved quite a lot. So this model has 0 manifolds. I can easily just take this directly from Vizcom, add it within CATIA, and have that converted to part design. And that's just incredible that something like that is now possible. So previously there were many self-intersection, non-manifold edges that would have been to be resolved, but now the model will output really clean models. Now regarding the texture, we're going to see that it's not that great. And also generative AI will have to further go and segment the mesh, because currently if I'm going to clip this car with the camera, we're going to see that the interior of this car will look like this. So we only have the outside surface in this case. Over here, maybe for the wheels, we have some additional geometry, which is this orange blob, but that's actually just an overlap. While within this car, we're going to see all of those individual components. And if I will slowly clip onto the interior, we're going to have all of those fine details over here. Okay, so I really enjoy creating this kind of content, and I'm sure that this kind of workflow, especially using tools like Vizcom, will definitely change how we approach automotive design. So let me know in the comment section what is your opinion regarding this. Also, you're going to find a similar video over here on the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.